You find me again enjoying another Pinot Noir. This is from Farrell Hallberg Vineyard, Russian River Valley 2016 vintage. Stay tuned and I'll tell you about this elegant wine. I was on a Zoom tasting with the winemaker Teresa Heredia with other wine journalists, and it was really great to get some insight and to hear her talk about her wines. I think she's an exquisite winemaker, exquisite Pinot Noir specialist, and beautiful wines that she's creating. So let me show you this bottle up close. Now this is again Farrell. Now this wine is a 13.9% ABV wine. Love the label, first of all, because I think this is iconic. I recognize this so much more so at a distance because of the coloration, because we have so many white bottles today. So on the back label, you're going to see the bottle number, which is bottle number 03228, which kind of reminds me of watching a watch video, which I love watch videos. And so it really talks about reference numbers, but I think to me, that's my reference number here. So this is a 13.9% ABV wine, $55 suggested retail price point. And so I think this is such a remarkably different wine than the Hallberg Dijon Clones wine. And you'll see that video right up here. You can look in the YouTube cards to look at that video. And it's a pleasure to be tasting all these wines and to recognize, I think what Teresa has been doing is just taking each site by site and treating it very, very carefully. And so this is a really exemplary vineyard site. This site is about 100 acres. It's a large site and very, very westerly site in terms of, say, all of Russian River Valley. If you look at the map, and I'll place a map right here so you can see where this is in terms of, say, other vineyard sites in Russian River Valley. It's always important to see where your wines are being sourced from. And so this is a gorgeous, luminous wine. But first I'm going to tell you about the vinification of this wine. So a note here, I am talking about vinification as much as I can in all my videos. Grapes are hand sorted, 80% is destemmed and then transferred to an open top tank, and then 20% of the fruit is added later as a whole cluster. Now the juice for each tank is chilled to 45 degrees Fahrenheit or 7.2 degrees Celsius and cold soaked for 6 days prior to fermentation. Now after fermentation, the new wine and solids sit in tank for 10 to 15 days for maceration. The wine was then gently pressed off the skins and seeds and then inoculated with malolactic fermentation and then racked and pressed off skins and seeds. The wine is then racked into French barrels, light to medium toast, and it's on primary lees for 15 months. 40% of that is new French oak. So let's talk first about the scent characterization of this wine. And I didn't tell you about the clones on this wine. So the clones are 667, 777, 828, Pommard, and unknown suitcase selection. So the scent characterization on this wine, absolutely sublime. So on this wine, notes of boysenberry. Here's a picture of a boysenberry. And the reason I want to use a boysenberry is somewhere between the raspberry and a blackberry. And I think it really is expressive and beautiful and not often used in terms of, say, wine descriptors. But I really want to be conscious of that because I think this is what that wine is expressing in terms of the nose here. So additional notes are black cherry, bit of fennel notes, boot polish, which I always mention James Halliday because he uses that term. I love that term. And then violet. Fantastic. Next, the palate characterization. So palate notes on this wine, beautiful acidity, by the way. So notes are tart bean cherry, pomegranate, white pepper, tea, and freshly ground simmering spices. Gorgeous wine. So this wine is 94 points out of 100 points. And more information on the producer will be listed down below. Questions and comments you can list there. That's where the subscribe button is. So if you've hit that button already, thank you so much. And if you haven't, I'm going to ask you to do so because you'll see the latest videos that I'm producing. That's where the like button is. So please hit that button if you like this video. And in between videos, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and WordPress. Additionally, you'll find me on my podcast, which is on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Salute.